Good morning, everybody. We are back out in the shop on a little bit of a brisk Sunday morning. I just figured we'd take a second and give you a touch of an update on what we've been out here doing. And we made some progress. You know, yesterday we come out here and decided to try and cut some tail and get some shit done. And it worked pretty good. First, we got our wastegates in. So we did all of our wastegate placement. Got everything mounted up on here and welded in tight. Got our downpipes so that we're not blasting shit into the frame. But I think these are going to work pretty good. They're not quite as awesome. I couldn't get the placement that I wanted on each one. There was a lot of stuff in my way. But I went with the VS Racing 44 millimeters. And these are the Gen 3s. I wanted to be a cheap ass and buy the Gen 2s because they were discontinued. But when I went to buy these, the Gen 2s were already gone. So everybody's like me, they don't want to spend no money, is what it is. We went ahead and upgraded to the Gen 3, and I like the Gen 3s more now that I've got my hands on them. And I think about the only visual difference is this little V-band right here is set up, you know, kind of like that guy, where if you want to get the top off to change your spring, you just undo this mechanism here and that'll kind of pop off there. So I think those are going to be super sweet if we want to change springs, because right now there's 13 pounds in them, I believe. But let me show you what the other ones would typically look like. And they're the old Gen 2s that I was trying to buy. These are precision gates. These are my old gates. And we're not going to run them anymore. But the Gen 2s are real similar. So they've got all these bolts that hold the top together so that the spring sits down inside of here. And over on the Gen 2s, they were the same markup as this. So the Gen 3s, they went away with these bolts and made it that V-band so that everything stays together. Oh, don't let me forget. I got to get that sensor off there. So, yeah, big progress was made yesterday. Like I said, I wish that I could have got a little bit better placement going on the wastegates, but I think for what I'm doing, I think it'll be just fine. You know, we're talking about running maybe 24 pounds of boost. So I think those gates are big enough, our exhaust is big enough, and our turbo is small enough that we shouldn't have a problem getting any of that done. But we went through the other thing. Next thing we did, I've never built PTFE fuel line before, so this was kind of neat for me. I went through and built up a couple fuel lines, mounted my regulator wherever my intake went. Oh yeah, this is the couch of parts. And then I built a new crossover on the intake to go from this rail to this rail. Like I said, I'm not very good at stuff. That was my very first PTFE line that I've ever messed with, and I'm 95% sure that son of a bitch is going to leak as soon as I turn the fuel pump on. But it's fine. We'll figure it out then. So after that, what the main goal for yesterday is, I really wanted to get the engine out of this thing. So we decided to just go ahead and tear it down. And by the way, check out these freaking TRZ control arms. Things are bitching. I really like them. So we went ahead and pulled the engine. Now, cylinder number 7 was the one that was hurt. We popped the head off. Everything looked kosher. We didn't have a broke piston. The cylinder walls looked okay. This cylinder wall, for anybody that says this thing wasn't like hurt when I was running it, here you go. Wait, let me get a light. Oops. I don't know if you guys can see that any better now. See all that in the cylinder wall? That hammered dog shit up there? That's just one cylinder. And actually, some of them looked pretty good. They didn't all look terrible. There was only a couple of them. And there's a couple of them that looked like hammered dog shit. But here's the heads off of them. We didn't push through. You know, we didn't have any head gasket issues. We didn't push through on any of these. So everything was still sealed up tight, even though we were just running we were running ARP bolts. We weren't running head studs or even factory bolts, but everything was pretty good. So we get over here. We have good, we have good, we have good, and then we have less good. Now, the top of the piston is awesome. What is less awesome is, if you look right there, you guys see the cracks in them ring lands? Where's the broken? There's one. And then, okay, we're trying to do this one-handed here. So this piece that I'm about to pull out, let me get my light up here. Trying to do this one-handed and feel like a retard. Okay, so yeah, there's a ring. Now you can see the other ring is still there. Okay, this is supposed to be a one-piece deal. I don't know that I have two-piece rings. I don't want two-piece rings. And then this right here is a portion of my piston. That's not supposed to come out of there. So I think we might have finally found why we were down a cylinder. If I can get my puzzle back together here. Oh, wants to be hard-headed. Oh, you son of a bitch! Get in there. Go to your home. I don't want to drop you, but I will. I'll do it. What the fuck? You just come out of there. You dirty, rotten son of a gun. Please? Pretty please. Do I have you upside down? Are you broke in such a way that you're only going to go back together one way? Well, I'll mess with that when I got two hands. But yeah, so there's a broke ring, a broke land, and a broke land. Now, there's a couple things that cause this. Being that I was on a stock, as stock can be, bottom end. This was out of a pickup. We never touched the pistons. We never touched the rings. We never did any of that. So it was factory ring gap. And what happens is when you get to going with some boost, the rings will come up and they touch, and then they have to go up or down. Well, this one looks like it went down because everything, the rings, it appears that the top ring touched and then pushed down, which broke this land here. And then when that one broke, it pushed down into this ring, which broke the ring over here. You can see on this little crack, that's the part of the ring I pulled out, which in turn pushed down on the land, which broke right here. That's that small portion. And then it also pushed down into the oil rings, which broke out the bottom portion of this piston, which we even got lucky enough to find laying in the oil pan right there. And it's just a little baby portion of it. So overall, deal, not terrible. We now know why we were having a 7-cylinder hybrid, but progress is good. The only two things that we got left now is I need to run new fuel line from the tank to my regulator, and I need to put an engine together. So we'll be back up and running in no time. Oh, by the way, shout out to my buddy Connor and his buddy Nick. They hooked me up with a set of Hoosier 2810-5. These are the soft sidewall. So hopefully this year we can put those to good use, because I did buy a set of wheels. So I now have a set of little tires for my set of little wheels. So pretty excited about that. But as always, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.